Hi, it's Jason from Conservative Policy News blog. This is the second video where we're just talking about a few things, some research of things I think you should know about, maybe things you haven't heard about. We were talking about this case of the bid rigging conspiracy on Wall Street, and we were talking about how the government has charged CDN Financials with creating sham auctions that allow big banks to pay below market interest rates for municipal bonds. Now, what had happened, according to this Bloomberg article, is that when they filed their defense papers or their answer or whatever in court, the CDN Financials had in their evidence a list of banks that they put down as their co-conspirators. Now, it's very interesting that Bloomberg got a hold of this list, or saw the list, and published the names of the bank. Now, of course, huge names: J.P. Morgan, Lehman Brothers, UBS, the Royal Bank of Canada, Wachovia, General Electric, as I said, General Electric Financials, their financial arm, and the list goes on. And some articles say it's more than 24. And the co-conspirators were not charged by the government with anything. So what Bloomberg did is that they contacted the Justice Department, and they contacted these banks and asked them, what the involvement of the banks were in the case. From the Justice Department on down, none of the spokespeople gave a comment. Bloomberg talked to an attorney in the case who was, I guess, related to the case and once worked with the government, and he said it would be an absolute disaster if these banks pleaded guilty to the charges and that they were actually co-conspirators in this fraud. I guess you can guess why. This case apparently is, they say, extends into the trillions, and and trillions on the municipal bond market. Now, as you know, municipal bonds, many times when government issues a bond to get a project done, what do? They give you a tax rate statement. So, in other words, here's why they're keeping it secret. This is why they don't want you to know that a lot of the same banks that got TARP bailout money, billions, almost $1 trillion, more than $1 trillion probably, are the same banks involved in this huge $1 trillion scam defrauding municipal bond markets. In other words, they defrauded the taxpayer, and yet they've asked for the taxpayer to rescue them. Do you see the kind of political problem that this presents? If the taxpayer can still get upset over things like this. So I thought it was interesting, the kind of approach that Bloomberg took. Oh yeah, I don't think I said this. The real smarmy part of the whole thing was that Bloomberg found the list, but later the CDN Financials, who put the list into evidence of their co-conspirators, which named all these big banks, said that they filed it inadvertently and that they wanted it stricken from the evidence, and the court agreed. Oh, I just wanted to let you know that. Sounds fishy to me, and it's something you really need to think about when we talk about, as we're going to talk about in our video about the financial services bill, about this concept too big to fail, which will allow which is part of that bill, which will allow the Treasury departments to bail out companies if they see fit. So, something to keep in mind, and I hope that these two videos were informative for you. I'll let you go. Thanks a lot. Bye.